Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina, and I've got an interesting situation to run by you guys.
Okay.
I think this is really interesting, and it makes me think about our entire podcast.
Oh.
The title is Guy and Girl Who Are Mutual Friends of Mine Told Me Their Very Different Takes on Their Breakup with Each Other.
Oh. Okay. We are in Gemini season. Let's get both sides.
Mm-hmm. Let's get both sides. Exactly. Okay, so context, they met 4 weeks ago. They've been on about 8 dates. This is my best paraphrase of how they recounted their stories to me, abridged for clarity's
Okay,
sake.
first of all, I need to pause and just say that's a lot. Like
for 4 weeks.
8 dates, 4 weeks. This seems very intense. And like
2 a week. Yeah, that was moving fast food.
Yeah.
Right.
And also like the fact that like they're both sharing their breakup story. It seems just very dramatic for a month.
Again,
you know what I mean?
It's Gemini season. Sit back, relax, buckle your
Drama.
seatbelt. Here we go.
Drama. It feels, I will say from the stories, it feels like people that are in their maybe early 30s, maybe early 30s.
At most. Okay.
At most.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. His version of events. Okay. I knew right away I'd found something special with this girl and I had to lock her down. She had talked about her issue in past relationship was the guy's not wanting commitment and being squirrely about putting labels on things. So I planned a whole nice romantic weekend for us. I surprised her with a romantic trip into New York City. She'd never been, and she said she always wanted to go. I got us a nice Airbnb. I got us a fancy restaurant, flowers. The whole thing was perfect.
How long into
be a
the
no for me, dog.
relationship? Because this whole thing lasted a month. So like
Third date?
that's
A month.
8th date.
that's
Yeah.
very, very soon into a relationship to be planning like a big romantic trip with
Yeah.
somebody.
We're outside the restaurant and I asked her, will you be my girlfriend? She says, yes, it's all good. We go in and sit down to eat, having great conversation. Midway through dinner, she goes to the bathroom, comes back and says she's not feeling well. I ask her if she wants to go back to the Airbnb. She says no, she just needs some air. She gets up and full on leaves the whole city, leaves her suitcase of clothes, just leaves. She
sorry.
sends me a text and said she wasn't feeling well, so she went back home. Calls the next day and said it feels like things were moving too fast, so she'd have to not see me anymore. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
And her
One
side.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
her
some of
version.
this is true. Some of it's not.
I will-
Just like with the
I
other
will-
side.
I will also say the guy version ends with, you just can't win with women. I did exactly what she wanted.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you
So-
go. All right.
I'm picking up on some vibes.
Please, I want to submit everything into
All
evidence.
evidence.
Please.
you.
Thank you so much.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So here's her version. It's too bad it didn't work out because I actually really liked him. We had seen each other for a few weeks and were just at the stage where we were talking about what we wanted. I told him things didn't work out with my ex because after 2 years together, he refused to be clear whether or not our relationship was leading to marriage or ultimately we were just dating, and that at my age, I'm not someone who's comfortable dating just to socialize. I don't know if that's what started this whole mess, but I thought I had been pretty straightforward. So he tells me he's planned a trip. He doesn't ask me if I want to go on a trip. He tells me he is booked and paid for a trip for us overnight out of town. It seemed like he was trying to do something nice and I wanted to see where things could go between us. So I said, fuck it, let's take the trip. I was pressing him for details as to where we were going, where we were staying, how we were getting there.
Yeah,
And
I
he
haven't
wouldn't
known you that
tell
fucking
me
long.
any of that, which
No.
made
That
me
is-
uncomfortable.
Do men not understand that would make a woman uncomfortable with someone? Not if you've been together for a long time, although I would still
like 2
like
years.
to
I still
be
want to
like,
know. I don't want to.
I,
And you
I still
know
wanna
me
be
well
like
enough
let
that
in
I
on
need to
some
know.
things. Right. But like, I don't even know you that well.
Right.
And I'm going to have an overnight trip out of town. You're not giving me any details. Like that would be scary.
Yeah. She says, I know he's been a friend of yours a long time, but that only means so much to me. I've only ever met him a handful of times. So I find out he's driving us in his personal car to New York City, where I've never been and do not know anybody, do not know the agenda or plan. But I agreed to go. I feel like I'm being over anxious. We go to this shady and unhygienic Airbnb. It's a studio apartment with one bed. There's a couch, so I'm rationalizing, I guess one of us is going to sleep on the couch. I set my stuff down and I'm freaking out internally because I've never slept with this man. I had no intention to do so that weekend. I felt played. I felt like he'd taken advantage of me. Nothing leading up to that weekend physically between us should have led him to believe we were in a place where we were about to have sex. He knows I'm just coming off this awful breakup and wanting to take things slow. I was careful to be sure he knew that. So we drive to this expensive restaurant in his personal car. He makes a point to say he's going to pay for everything. And my stuff is at some Airbnb I can't even remember the address to. At this point, I'm legitimately terrified. Then as we're walking in, he asks me, will you be my girlfriend? After not even a month of seeing each other, after getting me in a strange city with my stuff somewhere inaccessible and my only mode of transportation, his personal car, and one bed to share that coming night. I called my dad to get me a ticket home, and I called an Uber and pretended to be sick so as not to offend him. He seemed like a nice guy with genuine intentions, but you don't know how a guy is going to take rejection at that level.
That's right. And
even
you're out of
if
town.
it's an honest misunderstanding.
Sure.
I felt really upset. If he knew what he was doing, he's disgusting. And if he didn't know, he hasn't been listening to me at all. So the next day I called and told him it was over. I can't imagine what he was thinking. There you go.
Okay. I mean, I have to say, I trust her side of it.
They sound very much the same, to be honest. It's just, the story is the same. It's just the viewpoint. The lens is different.
The story is the same. The lens is different. However, like, regardless, if she's been in a relationship for 2 years and she's like, this person wouldn't commit, for you to make the leap to, oh, that means I need to go as like hard. I need to go
I
like
need to
100 miles an hour
commit.
In a month leads me to think that you don't have like good cognitive processing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I'm just like, why? It doesn't have to be one or the other. She's just saying like, if I'm in a long-term committed relationship with someone, I want to know that it is leading to marriage. That doesn't mean a month in that, especially you guys haven't slept together and you didn't run this shit by her at all. Like it really does show that like you are not considering the other person. It is all about you. And so him saying like, oh, you just can't win with women. It's like, well, you weren't fucking considering her at all. Like in this entire scenario. So what do you mean? Like you latched on to one thing that she said, which is that my ex wouldn't commit to me. And you made that her entire personality and built an entire like vacation around that. Yeah. That's on you. Like, sorry, that's on you. And to not have like in the year of our Lord, 2025, men not understanding the things that could be triggering to women because our realities are very fucking different.
Yeah. That's blatant, like allowing yourself to put on your own blinders to reality at this point. You're right.
Yeah, because I feel the same way. Like if I had known somebody for a month, have gone on a few dates and we hadn't slept together yet, to then all of a sudden like go to some strange city that I don't know in some dingy little Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's just
to
I
not
don't know.
run the details, but look, sometimes things move fast. Like if you're a month in and you're both as into it as the other, and you're like,
Could be fine.
let's go on a trip. Like, I really want to go on a trip together. Like that's different. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. The issue is like, she very clearly wanted to know where they were going, what was going on. He withheld that because he thought he was being romantic, ?
Yeah.
It just shows that like, you don't know this person. Like, you don't know them at all. Like she said, it's like, you're not listening to me. And maybe, and like, you know, there's his story, her story, and the truth, of course, like it's somewhere in the middle. So who knows how much she actually expressed to him or how she expressed it to him, you know, maybe she wasn't super clear. Like you don't really know.
I think that
but
as soon as she is saying or not getting the answers, where we're going, what are we doing, blah, 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 that's when she could have said, I'm not saying she should have.
Yeah.
She might have said.
Yes. I agree.
It's like, you know what, this
completely.
is actually not very comfortable for me, and I appreciate the grand gesture. It's just I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I agree. Communication, definitely. Because her assuming, oh, well, this place has a couch and a bed, so I guess one of us is going to sleep on the couch. Like, that is something, if you really weren't ready to share a bed with someone and you're going away on a weekend trip with them, like, you need to make it clear, like, just so you know, like, I'm still not ready
Correct.
to, like, you know, we can go on this trip, but I'm still holding up these boundaries, you know?
For sure. Does it have 2 beds where we're staying? Is it? And if you can't answer these questions, these simple questions for me,
Yeah, I'm not going.
I don't want to go.
Yeah. So I agree. Like, I think definitely lack of communication issues on both sides for sure.
Yeah.
But it just does irritate me whenever men make these grand gestures and they're like, oh, women are so ungrateful.
Okay.
And it's like, not really. It's just if you had
read the room.
communicated better, right. It's not that we don't want grand gestures. It's just that, like, you know, do something that we would actually like in that moment. Because he was doing things he wanted. He had a fantasy of what this was going to be in his head about how this was going to go, you know, and he didn't really consider her or what she wanted.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was interesting, and it made me think about, I mean, the fucking thousands at this point, literal thousands of bad date stories that we have told. I'm like, God, if only we could find all those people and find their side of it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yes.
It's
We could have a
so
whole second.
interesting.
We could have a spin-off podcast if we could do that.
Yeah, seriously.
The other side, the B side.
Oh, so good.
My worst date, the other side. Yeah.
I want to start doing that. If you're together or something like that, if there's a way that we could get A side, B side, I'm so interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that difference of what that looks like to the other person.
It's the am I the asshole thing, right? Like, you want to hear both sides. Some of them you don't need to hear both sides. You're like, no.
You are the
asshole.
You are the asshole. You did the most assholey thing a person could do to another human being.
You asked the question and then actually gave it the definition. So,
yeah. But I mean, often it does just come to, I'm always amazed at how differently other people's brains work.
Yeah.
And like process information. And you have to take that stuff into account. That's why communication is so important.
Yeah.
Even if it seems obvious to you, it's like you do have to sometimes explicitly say things.
Yeah.
Use your words.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a very important tell as well. Maybe you thought you were communicating things in a very clear manner, and that's not the case. So I think that the simplest answer is that you're just not, you guys don't communicate in a way that
Maybe
works with each other. You're not
like that.
compatible. And that's fine. You know what? There's other options available. There are
Many.
so many bad options available.
People are everywhere, unfortunately.
Yes.
They're
But yeah,
everywhere.
what makes me concerned for the dude is, like you said, Keegan, that whole like, you just can't win with women.
That's
It's
an
like,
incel comment.
yeah.
That's a
That's-
very like I see that shit all over the internet where it's just like, you try and be a nice guy and like that doesn't get you anywhere, blah 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 blah. They don't appreciate it. Women only want jerks, whatever. And it's like, no, like, women just want people who like actually listen to them.
Right.
You know,
hear what they're saying. Yeah. It is Gemini season.
Yes, it is.
What up?
It's very, very Gemini, getting both sides there. So
And you both have Gemini in your big three.
Yeah.
Yep. Gemini moon for me. And you're Gemini rising,
Yes.
Cass? I know we
And then
said
Taurus
that
moon,
like
yeah.
a million. Yeah.
I always forget. Keegan has to remind me. Thank you.
I do have your big three saved on my phone. I'm not good for a lot, but I'm good for that.
I'm a lot for good.
Gemini's hard because it has the love of my life, Bill Hader, in there. But then it also has Kanye West. So,
Exactly.
Which is very appropriate. There's the duality of a Gemini. Like some of my best friends are Geminis.
It's weird
and
because you said best friends and neither of us
some
are actually.
of my childhood friend Sienna is a Gemini. My
she's
old
amazing.
work wife, she's amazing. My old work wife Denise is a Gemini. Love her.
My current work wife is a Gemini. So
So Geminis are it is like duality personified. You are either going to find the best people who are Geminis, or you're going to find like literal demons walking on earth.
Yes.
And that is it. It's
No
just like
in-between.
there's no in between. In my personal experience, you tell me. Also, I feel like this is another one of those signs where men and women are often worlds apart. There's a lot of male Geminis that are scary. So, because I think Trump's a Gemini.
Yep.
Kanye's a Gemini. Just
Yeah.
saying. But with that said, we are going to fuck, marry, kill Geminis this week.
Yeah.
Who do you guys want to pick?
Well, I can't pick Bill Hader. We've done him so many times. Hashtag I wish. I was looking through a list and I saw Richard Madden is a Gemini who played Robb Stark in Game of Thrones.
Ooh, hot.
Hot.
Very hot. He's like British too,
He's
right?
Scottish.
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 Ooh. Babe, Outlander. Okay. I don't know if I can trust him though. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those that I'm just like, you're gonna ruin my life. He's like a Gemini man who's gonna like ruin my life. But he's hot though.
So hot. He's so hot. So,
so
yeah,
hot.
I'm in a feisty mood. I'll pick Richard Madden.
Okay. I'm going to do Macklemore.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm standing on it.
Okay. All right. Man, I have three very different options
Singer,
floating around in
activist.
my head.
Macklemore.
I'm gonna stay with a Gemini man then, since you both did Gemini man,
Okay.
and we're gonna go in a completely different direction. And I'm gonna pick Michael Cera.
Okay.
Brilliant. You know who else I almost picked? I almost picked Liam Neeson.
Oh, fun! If you'd picked Liam Neeson, I would have picked Stevie Nicks, and we could have gone like a golden Gemini.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is very interesting. These are three
Very
very
different.
different paths to walk in your life.
Okay.
Very different. Yeah. I think I know what I'm gonna do actually.
Okay.
I'm going to marry Michael Cera, actually.
Okay. That's, I
Listen.
think he has a sense of humor about himself. The fact that he's doing Sarah V commercials is
Yes,
so
hilarious. I think it's so funny. I think he does not take himself too seriously. I think he's very fucking chill.
He knows
What
what
is
he
he
is.
doing these days?
Sarah
This
V
is what
commercials.
Well,
It's so
I think
funny.
he was just in Barbie
Yes.
a couple years ago.
yeah.
So he's still doing things now and then. Yeah, I like that he just kind of leans into being a little bit of a nerdy weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm
Bit of a
good
goof.
with that. I think life with him would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
And also pretty chill. I think he can still work when he wants to in Hollywood. So when
I'm gonna
he
be
needs
honest,
a big
Keegan,
job, I think he can go get one.
I think you could date Michael Cera. Like, I think that if he
Thank
saw
you
you,
so much.
I think that he'd be like, I'm punching above my weight class and I know this. But you guys
I think he would make
treat
you feel
so well.
really
He
good.
would treat
Yeah,
you
like
so
he would
well.
he would treat you so well.
I want
like,
this for you, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to manifest
me
this.
too, maybe. I'm just gonna go. I feel like he might hang out at like Book Soup. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go like just
You feel like
loiter.
you would. Yeah.
yeah.
Just pop it.
But I just feel like it would be like an easy chill life.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's got like he probably lives in LA. He probably lives in like Studio City, or something like in
or
a
like
nice
Silver
house.
Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got pets.
so
I bet he has a cat.
I bet he does have a cat. He gives me like cat vibes for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that that's just like an easy, chill life.
Yeah.
I am going to fuck Richard Madden. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck him.
Yeah.
He's got a very intense energy, and I like that. There is like a dark stare, like very intense eyebrows, which I'm into.
A little bit of a Scottish brogue.
Oh, babe. Say less. Amazing. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna fuck him. It's gonna be a great time, and then I'm gonna friend Macklemore.
Yeah,
because I feel like my energy
Singer,
with
activist.
Macklemore's energy is gonna be like a lot. Like I don't think I could marry him because I think that it would just be very intense. Be like him and I together, I think could get very intense. I think it could also get very like there could be a lot of like real passion. Too.
And
but
he's a redhead. So I think that with like this whole thing, like with
so he's the blackest of these three for sure.
And I think that when that came out, he was probably like, I've been knowing this. Like, where you been?
Thanks. That shit is true though. I know so many gingers who I'm like, you got soul for real. So Macklemore, I'm gonna friend Macklemore.
Yeah.
What about you, Cassie? I'm still stuck.
I'm a little stuck. I agree on the intensity of Macklemore. However, he's definitely got this activist vibe, right? Like he is.
I think you could handle it.
I do
Cassie.
too.
Like I think it would be good.
And you know what? I am a sucker for a redhead. It is a problem.
Is it?
Yes. Yes. My first love. My absolute first love in high school. Redhead. Yeah.
Is Chris's hair red?
Yeah.
Not
it is
really.
Like reddish?
He's got a ginger beard. His hair is like kind of light brown.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, ginger beard for sure. It's definitely been a thing. Dylan's dad, gingerish, auburn hair. Yeah. It's a problem. Yeah, I think that I'm going to marry Macklemore. You're right. I could do this because you know what? I love that energy he has. He's got like this real, like, I don't give a fuck. But in the way that he means business to do good. Yeah. I like that. I'm going to fuck Richard Madden because I'm not stupid.
I mean,
have you seen the man? Christ on a cracker. Yeah. I mean, he's the Zion National Park of our FMK here.
Yeah.
And then I'm definitely going to friend Michael Cera. There's no fucking what a cool guy. God. We're going to be friends.
I bet he's fun.
Yeah.
Be the most fun.
You know what? I feel like with Michael Cera, Michael Cera is the type who will like sit and watch you try on outfits.
Yes.
And help you like pick one.
He'd be happy to.
You know what I mean? You're happy to. Yeah.
God, I really hope you start dating Michael Cera now.
I don't know if he's married or not.
Oh, look.
I'm putting it out there. I'm going to marry Richard Madden.
She's like,
okay.
Put my bold pants on.
I feel that you like an intensity. Yeah.
I do.
You like a windswept English Moor kind of person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to live out my Wuthering Heights fantasy.
Yeah. That is what that is.
It is 1000% that. I have a little bit of that delusion. I think that my intellect will be enough to satisfy someone like Richard Madden. So yeah, we're going to have this incredibly dark gothic romance.
I like it.
It's going to ruin both of us. And
that's okay.
It's a bad decision, but I'm making it. I'm marrying Richard Madden.
Do it.
And then I got to say, I'm going out of the two. I'm going to fuck Michael Cera because I think he's going to try harder out of the two.
I think so.
I think he's going to be better. And he is giving third leg.
That I was about to say totally. Yeah.
To be fair, though, I feel like Macklemore is going to eat you out.
I think they'll both eat you out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd rather look down and see Macklemore doing it, though.
Fair enough.
I gotta be honest, I'm not putting eyes down there for either, but I'm happy. I'm just happy to be there.
And so are they.
Yeah,
So,
Truly.
Yeah.
Michael Cera
So-
is married.
Oh, I figured. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
And it matches. It's a match.
He's got married guy energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Oh,
They met in Paris.
well,
No, please.
Uh,
Get out of
bleh.
here.
She was
love,
studying theater.
romance.
Ugh.
Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And we're back. Okay, Cassie, kick us off.
Okay. So, a guy I was dating invited me to a quote games night at his sister's place. I love it. Already in. I love board games, so I agreed. I picked him up. He couldn't drive, and we drove to his sister's. Luckily, it was close by. We get there, and I get introduced to his sister and some of his friends. They muddle around a bit and then set up the game. Immediately, they tell me it's, quote, too complicated and say that I can't play.
Okay. Then why did you invite me?
I know. Why am I here then? I can't play. I'm a bit perturbed, but expected that maybe my date was going to just play and I'd be his, quote, on his team and learn the game a bit before joining. Imagine my surprise when he pulled out his laptop and booted up Minecraft and then forced me to sit there while he showed me his Minecraft world. I have zero interest in Minecraft and have never expressed any sort of desire to play. I was pretty pissed, so after about an hour and a half, during which his laptop finally died, I told him I didn't feel well and that I was leaving. He stood up and asked me for a ride home. I moodily agreed.
Oh my God.
I know. And drove him back to his house. When we pulled up, I sat there and waited for him to get out so I could leave. Instead, he sat there dolefully looking at me and tried to lean over for a
Oh,
kiss.
no.
You haven't put in the effort for
Sir,
a kiss.
you
I feel
took
like
me-
we get these stories all the time where I'm just like, what are you doing? Like you didn't earn this.
No.
You made me watch Minecraft. What part of that did you think I was turned on by?
None.
Instead,
None of that.
Instead, I glared over at him and said, okay, so bye. He got out. He texted me about 3 days later and said it wasn't working out. And I texted him back, cool. It's not working out. Oh, okay. You're right.
Great.
Yep. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Okay, I've got one. This one makes me. This is something that would follow me my entire life as a shame receipt. So she says, Andrew, a colleague I really liked and fancied, invited me to a Premier League football match. I like most sports, so was pleased with this suggestion. I assumed we'd be going for drinks and dinner afterwards and was really, really excited. Turned out it wasn't a date. He regarded me as a mate who was keen on football.
Oh, God.
We got there and he told me with a big smile on his face all about this beautiful woman he had met and was seeing that evening after the match. He was very happy, but I was so deflated. It was the longest 90 minutes ever, made worse by the fact that it was also very cold.
Boo. Boo.
On the way to the railway station afterwards, we bumped into my flatmate and her boyfriend, who'd been so excited and optimistic about my date with Andrew, whom I talked about a fair bit since he'd started at my workplace.
Oh, no.
I introduced them and we all chatted for a while. Mortifyingly, my flatmate or her boyfriend, I can't recall, said
Blacked
something about our date.
No. Oh no, girl. Like the only choice was to get out of there as soon as possible, as soon as you saw them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like divert. Go the other way. Pretend you don't know them.
I know if I run into you guys that I would be able to communicate telepathically and that
That's
you
right.
would
Through your
never
eyes.
do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would like to think that you'd be able to do that too, but I am notoriously known for putting my foot in my mouth. So
It would be you. You're right. You'd be like, how's your day
oh
going?
it would be me. Honestly, Christina, you got some fucking nerve because it would be you too. Bitch, please.
I wasn't going to say it,
Yeah.
but I mean.
You'd be like, how's the engagement? The what? So congratulations on your babies.
Andrew looked awkward and confused. He then pointedly started talking about the new restaurant he was visiting with his new girlfriend that evening, at which point my flatmate and her boyfriend looked awkward and confused as well. We said our goodbyes, and Andrew and I continued to the railway station in uncomfortable silence. He eventually remonstrated me for telling my friends that the football was a date. He was quite annoyed and said he was embarrassed.
Why is
You're
he
embarrassed?
annoyed?
I'm
Yeah,
embarrassed.
And it was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, calm down, dude. Get a grip.
I tried to say something conciliatory, but his train arrived and he said sharply, I need to get my train. We avoided each other socially at work after that, although we had professional conversations occasionally. It really knocked my confidence. In retrospect, he has lots of female friends, so I shouldn't have presumed it was a date, but I really thought there was a spark.
Aw,
that's just a bummer.
That is a bummer.
This is the thing, though. I would think about that for the rest of my life.
Every
if
day.
that happened to me.
Every single day.
I also feel like that is one of the things, like, I never know when someone is hitting on me. And I think it's because I've gone through things like that where I've thought someone was hitting on me and they weren't. And so now I just assume that nobody is and they're just like being nice. You know, so I like can never tell. And I think that that's what would happen in this situation. Like I would just, the rest of my life, I'd be like, no one is interested in me ever. Somebody could explicitly ask me out on a date and I'd be like, we're just friends, right?
I still think about that date that I went on. Cassie, you remember the guy? He looked like Dude Face from Firefly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk.
Oh my God, that's right. And you swore that the chemistry was so great. Yeah.
And he completely ghosted. And I still think about that. I'm like, I thought we were like click, 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 like getting and yeah.
Like,
and I
apparently
still
not.
apparently not. You still think about that. You're like, how did I consider myself a pretty good read on
pretty
character
perceptive.
and situations.
Yeah. You're like, how did I read that so wrong? Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyways.
All right, this one's a little bonkers. In my early 20s, I ran into a girl I had grown up in the church with at a local restaurant/bar and asked her out. She was going to a party after work and said I should tag along as her date. Y'all, I am so glad I went. This night was bonkers.
Yes.
First, she showed up wearing a handkerchief as a shirt and a skirt that had handcuffs for a belt.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I was in khakis and a polo.
He's like,
God, this sounds very, I'm not going to lie. This could have been me.
Early 20s, you know.
Yeah. Me dating the guy with the khakis and I'm like in a fucking skirt with thinking I'm so cute with a
hot shit.
Yeah. Bandana.
I mean, they grew up in church together. So he was probably, I don't know,
not
maybe
expecting
something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Also could have been
When
me.
we got to the trailer the party was being held in, I was sure I was in the wrong place on the wrong date, but fuck it. Let's see where this goes. At some point, she got lost. Okay, guys, we're going from 0 to 100. I need you to brace yourselves. At some point, she got lost, and I found her in bed with 2 other people with a crowd all around watching what was going on.
That wasn't me.
It was that kind of party.
That wasn't.
You're like, I take it back.
That was not me.
Say that again.
Mm-hmm. So he goes into the bedroom, and she's having sex with 2 people, and everyone's watching. I've seen this kind of thing on Pornhub.
Cool.
I didn't know it was something people really did.
Okay. All
But
right.
He says, it was pretty interesting, but the Saints were on TV and one of my friends was there. So I went back to the front to hang out while she finished.
No, you didn't. Sir, quit fucking lying.
Obviously, at this point, I was there to watch the dumpster fire, not because I was invested in the date. She wound up leaving before me. I stayed and hung out with my friend and watched the game while she went home with the local rock DJ.
Yeah. Are you sure you were on a date?
Who wasn't one of the people she was in bed with either.
Wow.
It was easily the best bad date of my life. Oh, so she says he came and asked me if it was okay if he took my date home. I never saw either of them again. It was easily the best bad date of my life. There have been tons of other bad dates, but none were just so horrible. I can't help but laugh at how horrible they were. Like, yeah, babe, I'm like, this doesn't sound like a date. She just brought you to this party.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
You were
like,
not
I
her
don't think
date.
you were on a date, babe. Sorry to break it to you.
God.
Khakis.
One of the comments does say her outfit sounds incredible.
Really does.
She sounds like a
I
good
mean-
time, to be fair.
Listen.
Ooh.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like he's judging either.
No.
No.
Okay.
He's like, all right.
He's just like,
Get your
okay,
freak
well.
on. Get your freak on. Okay. A guy I had been having a 2-month long distance thing with came to visit me for the weekend. Upon opening the door to greet him, he breezed by me with a I need to take a shower. Thanks. As I waited, puzzled for the shower to end, I noticed his car is still running outside. I go out to turn it off, but it's locked. Keys inside, running. Back in the house now, he's out of the shower in a towel, sheepishly asking me if he can use my washing machine. Apparently, the combination of a long drive, nerves, and gas station coffee did a number on him, and he
Shit his
shit
pants?
himself.
Oh, there you go.
Aww.
That's when I tell him about his car keys. We spend our first face-to-face date, him wearing my house coat, washing poop out of his clothes, waiting for a locksmith. Spoiler, I'm still with him.
Speaking of, I mean, it's cute that they're still together, but like speaking of things that would make me want to like dissolve into the ground. Like
yeah.
the first time you've met this person,
First face-to-face.
you walk in their door just smelling like shit, literally,
Yes.
asking to use their shower.
That's what we've said though a million times. Like you're either never gonna speak again or you're married.
Yes.
That's
For
right.
it's only two options, and yeah, I love that it was a happy ending.
Yes.
I've got one that is kind of a happy ending as well. This person says, I met for a date with a woman who felt the need to up and tell me all about trauma from her super religious upbringing. Then about how as a baby she had far too much fluid in her head or something like that, and produced a photo of her as a massive headed baby.
Oh my God.
You know what? Here's the thing. Life is short and weird. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and trauma dump on me. Tell me all your lore. I want to know. Just
People have great stories, truly. That was terrible. But then she wanted to share her poetry with me that she had in her handbag on crumpled bits of paper.
no. All right. I do draw the line at poetry.
Yeah.
I actually saw her on a blind date show a few years later where she showed the guy vagina molded sculptures she had made.
Oh.
I ran
Okay.
from that first date. Somebody comments underneath it, there's a lid for every pot, I guess, because she sounds awesome. Let me see that big-headed baby pic and let's write poems on napkins
Oh
you
my
can
God.
keep crumpled up in your purse.
Oh my
Amazing.
God. I
Definitely.
love that. I do.
Amazing.
Be yourself, I guess.
Perfect.
You know, like be yourself.
Truly, that is the underlying message of this whole date. You are going to meet so many people in your life that are going to think that you're so weird.
Yeah.
But if you're lucky and you find that one person who's like,
Weirdly perfect.
I'm into this.
I'm into writing crumpled bits of poetry and looking at big head baby pics.
Big head baby, I am into that. I do. But here's the I want to see everyone's baby pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes me weird. I want to see if I know you, I want to see a picture of you as a baby or like a little kid.
I feel like we need to post baby pictures of ourselves with this episode then.
Oh,
word up.
absolutely. What freaks me out about seeing
I'm sorry,
people's...
did you say word up?
Yep.
Amazing. I'm like, we're just going to walk right past that. Word up.
Word up.
I didn't even realize I said that. Oh my God.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah. You know what?
Freaks
Word
me
up.
out. Word up. You know what freaks me out though? I get a little freaked out by seeing people's baby pictures because I think people look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking weird. It's just like, oh, that was a little version of you before you were you, and you look the same, just kind of stretched out.
Well, you
Do you
are
know
the
what
same.
babies are?
I do, but it's fucking weird. It's like weird to see a baby picture of Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, that just looks like a baby version of Jennifer
That's what I
Aniston.
love about it. I love seeing the way that because it is.
Spoiler
It's
alert.
weird.
Spoiler
You
alert.
guys don't think it's weird?
No.
I think it's weird that babies look like who they grow up to be.
God.
It's weird.
That is truly the definition of being a baby.
That's the funniest. That is a high thought, Christina.
Wow. That is
That is a
high
thought
are
you
you
have
right now?
when you are like stoned on your couch and you're like, isn't it weird that babies look like the people they grow up to be?
It is though.
Isn't the word metropolis weird?
I mean,
metropolis.
I
Metropolis.
know what you're talking about, Christina. I do.
Yes,
like
it's
Uncanny
where
unsettling.
Valley.
You can see the same features.
Yes.
Right? Like I think I was cuter as a baby. But like I still have my dimples, I have my cheeks, I have the same face shape, like that stuff remains the same because you are who you are. Like you grow up and you mature into
The
your
baby
features,
picture that I'm going to share for us to put on Facebook is just going to be a picture of my face superimposed on a baby's body.
baby's body.
Just for Christina.
Like, wow, that baby looks so much like Cassie.
And I'll freak out.
Yeah.
Lose
Why is
my
it wearing
mind.
your
I'll
glasses?
show it to Christina when she's really stoned.
The other thing that I cannot get over, there are some things that I love so much that it hurts my heart. Like I feel physical pain. And that is babies that need to wear glasses.
Oh, I thought you were going to say helmets.
And
helmet
helmets.
babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But specifically babies that have to wear glasses.
It's very cute.
My coworker's son, fucking so cute.
My little cousin Ollie, she had to wear glasses. They were like little pink oval glasses. I was like, those are the cutest thing.
It's so cute. Just unbelievably cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I randomly met a guy on a night out in my local town, and I was delighted as he was my type. He lived in the next town over, about half an hour away, setting context for later, but worked in my town. He was a real charmer and treated me to a chippy at the end of the night, and I was smitten. I was only 19 or 20, and he was a little bit older. Fast forward a few weeks after copious amounts of texting and flirting and one other date. I went on a night out with my friends, and he texted me asking if I wanted to come over after and see him and stay over. In my drunken state, I agreed, presuming he would pick me up in his very boy racer-like Honda Civic. Nope. He suggested I get the bus as it stops directly outside his house, and he would be there. Sober me would have said no, but I was young and naive. I told him I would jump on the local night bus after the pub closes, and I would text him when I was closer. I jumped on the bus at about 2 a.m. Red flag. And text him and say I was en route. No reply.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Text him again when I was getting closer. No reply. Started to panic, so I gave him a phone call. Phone rang out. Got to the bus stop. No sign, and I had no idea which house he was in. Kept calling him, and the phone ended up being having been switched off. I decided in my wisdom to walk to the local bus depot, half an hour away in the pitch dark with a few dubious looking characters around.
No.
It's past 2 a.m. in the morning.
Man.
You're walking half an hour and see if I could get my bus back. No luck. I ended up phoning my dad to pick me up. He thought I was wanting a lift back from the pub, which was normal as he often offers, and was so shocked when I told him where I was. I'll never forget him pulling up with my mom and half asleep sister in her PJs.
No.
Why did you bring the whole family?
Oh
Shame.
my God. Shame. They rang a bell out the window as they rolled up.
Most awkward journey home. The next morning, I woke to no text from him, so decided to give him a piece of my mind. He said he ended up falling asleep and didn't put his phone on charge. I was so angry with him and gave him hell. He didn't like it, so he replied back saying that he didn't see us going anywhere and made comments about my weight, my acne, and everything under the sun that he didn't like about me. Blocked. Think I dodged a bullet.
Wow.
Yes.
What a
Yeah,
piece of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ugh.
A
Dude,
bus at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, no.
The Honda Civic line made me think of the fucking. Have you seen
My
those
first car.
TikToks where it's like, what happens when your friend with the 90s Nissan Altima got the new Lil Wayne CD, and it's like,
Oh man, do you remember cars that had like that was such a 2000s thing, putting like crazy stereos in normal ass cars.
My friend had a Jeep. He had 220s in the back, Fosgate amp. Yeah, we were rolling. Don't fucking talk to me about fucking speakers, bitch. I got you, fam.
God.
My friend had a 10 switch in his pickup truck and fucking rolling down High Street. Fuck.
The mid 2000s were such a time.
Oh my
God.
really
What
was.
a time.
Really, truly was. It was definitely a happier, more unhinged, but like hopeful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like things were going to work out.
Yeah. Things were going to be all right. The kids are going to be all right.
All of a sudden,
no.
We didn't
hear
know.
this grating, agitating voice. Oh my goodness.
Lord.
Well, on that note.
Yeah. We need some good news, Cassie. What you got for
I
us?
got something for us. It's called The Doghouse. I've been knowing about it. However, they have, I think at the time that I'd originally found it, there was only one season available. Doghouse is a UK show where they match dogs to like new owners. And so you get to see them meeting dogs like for the first time.
Shut up.
They're like, oh, it's fucking precious. And it's like British. So it's kind of like watching the repair shop, this beautiful, like in the
soothing.
middle. Yeah. Oh, it's soothing, beautiful, soft voices, except for the receptionist who is fucking brilliant. And I love, but it's people meeting their babies.
Oh, stop. I'm into it.
Oh my God. And it's like stories, like some, I think one woman lost her husband and like, like it's always like the story about like what brought them to find a dog and like where, and it's like them finding, it's literally, if
I'm
you
gonna
want
cry,
to
I
heal
think.
a piece of your soul, the show.
Like a good cry.
Yeah.
It's like, this is like
it's amazing.
a needed.
Oh my gosh.
That is a gold star.
Yeah.
Good find.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will be adding that immediately, if not sooner.
And you so good.
Said you were watching it on Prime.
Yes,
but it might be on Max.
It's Max. It is a Max show.
It's a Max show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're back to HBO Max. Didn't you hear?
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I cannot keep up with Coke
My
Zero
God.
or Coke New Coke.
Crystal New Coke
versus classic. And
what is happening?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know why the world is burning. I don't think we need to preoccupy ourselves with what to call HBO Max. Like
call it whatever you want. I don't know. Call it Purple Princess.
Yeah.
Pound Town. I don't fucking know. Like I don't care. Like literally spend any amount of energy on any.
That's a streaming channel I want to subscribe to.
Yes, me too. Word up.
Word up. Name of this episode. Oh well,
my gosh.
I'm so glad we could do this.
If you guys have good news, if you have terrible date stories, if you have the other person's point of view on said terrible date, if you just want to reach out and say hello, Go to our one-stop shop, the website. It is myworststatepodcast.com. And we love you so much. Cheers.